How did it change your approach to the music you were making?
Um, well, I think more than anything, it was just, I started listening and thinking about music in a different way, like more critically and more carefully, I guess. So,
In what way?
I mean, in the way, like, I don't know, I could study like classical performer and see or study theory and understand why certain musical ideas connect with people or connect with me, and how I could use that in my own music. Like I was still playing in punk bands and rock and roll bands while studying classical music, you know, which is interesting. It didn't like completely change. I still write music from a very like, it's very natural to me. I don't like compose the music very carefully. I just do what I feel like, but at the same time I was able to like write string parts for the record and stuff, like on sheet music, and give that to somebody else, and learning, you know, and I like learned what a string quartet could do, or what it sounds like, and how I could apply it to my own music. And yeah, so I use bits of the knowledge I learned in a like academic musical structure in rock and roll music, I think.
Was it then easier compared to the previous record this time around to develop the record and write for it?
Well, I was that I was doing that during the first record too. I was like still in school. When I was writing it, and I graduated. But all in all, I think this record was a little more, I felt like I did a better job because I had a clearer idea of where I was going with it. Like I had the first record, I wasn't sure what I wanted. You know, I was still figuring out like what kind of music I wanted to make, and trying to take all my influences and like put them into one entity. And it was a little, I think that record works. It's just a little more like all over the place. And then coming back for a second record, I kind of had a clear idea of like where I wanted to go with it. So I was a little more focused. I was a little more like clear about my intentions. So in that way, it was easier. Okay. Yeah.
What did you have in mind then? You say you were more focused. What was did you have a vision in mind before you started making the album? Or?
It kind of happened naturally, but I focused on, I really wanted to write really good songs at like the most basic level, and then like add interesting things on top of that. Like I wanted to write songs that would sound okay with just an acoustic guitar and vocals, you know? But then have really big arrangements around it, you know? I wanted to make it more fundamentally solid than the first record at the base level, but then at the same time also have it more interesting with bigger arrangements and more instruments and, you know, strings and horns. And I don't know, I just wanted to write like a good pop record, I guess.
Well, in the writing of this record, you became enamored with an old piano.
Yeah.
I read. So how did this affect the way you say your songwriting goes? Usually it's just the guitar, I think, and then.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting writing. I bought an old piano, put it in my garage, and it's interesting. It's like it's different writing a song on a piano than a guitar. because with the guitar you have certain tendencies, just the way the instrument is built and the way like certain chords are easy to play. But a piano, it's like, it's really wide open, like the whole spectrum of sounds is right in front of you, like literally at your fingertips, and your hands move in certain ways and you can see relationships between notes and chords opposed to like harmonies, you know, up here, melodies, and it's a different experience, and it yields different results. Like I once read that David Bowie, after his first couple records, he switched from writing songs on guitar to piano, and then you could hear his songs get way more interesting, like arrangements and chord progressions and
Do you
changes.
see it as that as well, where your writing now has become more interesting?
I think so, yeah. I still wrote a lot of those songs on the guitar, and I wrote some like on the piano, but like arranging and composing on a piano, I think does help you get out of a guitar, like a rock mindset, and expand things a little more.
Is this something you were looking for already, or is it again something that just developed naturally?
It's something I felt that I wanted to do for a while, and it kind of naturally. Because I got really interested in arrangements and like building a sonic, like a landscape, a well-rounded, interesting framework for writing songs. I don't know, it's just, I think what I was hearing in my head, like my ideas for where I want to go with my record were getting a little bigger than only using like electric guitars and stuff.